Yesterday was George Clooney's birthday.
60.
60. Today, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about something that you actually got me super interested in.
Okay.
Art heist.
Art heist.
Art heist.
I don't know art. You mean like the person?
You were telling me a couple weeks ago about the documentary that you watched on Netflix about art forgery.
Ooh.
And so as I kind of went down that hole, it made me go into the hole of art heist and people stealing things from very famous museums and how often it happens, which I think is crazy.
Does it happen regularly? Is it like an everyday occurrence?
I mean, it doesn't happen every day, but it happens more often than you would think.
What do you think is the most famous one of all of these that we've looked at?
I think the most famous to me, and probably because it happened like in our adult lifetime, was the Scream. You know, the picture of that.
The what?
The picture of that.
I'm not familiar. Maybe one more time. Okay. I can't wait to cut that out as a clip and turn the audio off, folks, and put it on a loop.
So there is the famous photo called The Scream, or the famous art piece called The Scream by Edvard Munch.
Yep.
Yeah, look up a picture of that.
It looks like all these.
Yeah. It's very, very famous.
You did a bunch of them.
Well, I mean, those are all reproductions and colored differently and et cetera, et cetera.
But that's the one, right? With the Scream Starry,
Well, no,
Starry Night.
That's mixed with Starry Night, which is a different art piece.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Oh, I'm learning about art.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. So that was stolen in 1994 from a museum in Oslo. And it was missing for 3 months. And it was found. But the kicker to all of it is it was stolen twice. In 2004, it was stolen again.
What?
Again. And it was gone for 2 years.
Where does it go? That's so weird.
It's hidden.
Oslo, by the way. It's in Norway.
It is?
Yep.
Have you ever been there?
I haven't, but there it is on a map, folks.
It's a really cool place.
It's a water town.
I like it a lot. It's beautiful.
I have yet to go to Norway.
It's an interesting spot.
And apparently don't take any art with you when you go to Norway.
You really don't, because it will get stolen twice.
Yeah.
Not just once, but twice.
Not once, but twice.
Okay, so when you were telling me about that doc, so I looked it up, and it's called Made You Look.
Yeah.
And basically it details the largest art fraud in the United States in history, which took place at the Knoedler Gallery? Nadler?
In Massachusetts?
Actually, New York City.
Really?
Yeah. The gallery itself was in New York City.
Oh. I thought it was in Boston.
Yeah.
Here's a
I don't
picture
think so. I mean, look it up. Maybe it was Boston.
I don't know. I watched so many of them. I'm getting them confused.
So. I
There's
think
the
it was
one
New
where
York City.
the security guards let the cops in to steal the art. Is that what you're talking about?
This is a robbery.
Yeah. Okay. That's in Boston.
Yes, that's in Boston.
Yeah.
That was at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, and that happened in 1990. And they took Rembrandt's, Vermeer's, Degas, Manet's, and that was $500 million worth of art that was stolen that they have yet to recover.
That's the poster for it.
Yeah.
Some of the words are upside down. A true story.
Because it's called Made You Look, about taking art.
Oh, this is the one where the gentleman painted all the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, starts in 1995. There is a woman who is the curator of the gallery, and she buys a $750,000 Mark Rothko painting.
This lady right here.
Yes.
What's her name?
Oh.
Anne Friedman.
Yeah.
Kodler. Yeah.
Knoedler. That's the
Perhaps.
Knoedler Gallery.
This is going to be the episode of Ike messing up all the artist names.
We're both going to.
Yeah.
Both going to.
So the deal was that she had this connect, and that lady just kept bringing her stuff.
This woman presents herself, and she's not anyone that she's known before, and she's like, oh, this woman has no idea how much this is worth, So I'm going to get this for a steal. And she did. And they later sold it for $5.5 million at auction.
Yeah. But then they go and do it another 80 times.
Right. So then the lady brings in a Jackson Pollock, and the gallery purchased that as well. Both of those paintings, they went through the entire getting
Authenticated.
And like they had people come in and look at them, and everyone was just like, yes, absolutely, this is that. And 60 other pieces were brought into the gallery over the next 10 years. $80 million in artwork. $80 million in artwork. And so, I mean, it gets way, way more scandalous than that. Like, it goes on and on and on. You'd have to watch it to, figure out the whole story. Because there are, definitely thoughts that the woman at the gallery had to be in on it, because there's no way you could curate at a gallery that popular and not know.
I believe that 100%.
Right. So
I believe
it's like pretty.
I have two schools of thought on this. One, her desire to be this person that discovered all this fantastic art. I think you get something like that in any career. You get a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Sure.
You don't get a 65 times in a lifetime opportunity to find the most rarest art in the world. Like, that's just like, she herself still sticks to her story. She's like, I still believe they're all real.
And has since day one. That's the one thing that I'm like,
And some of the buyers are like, well, we don't care if it's fake. It looks great hanging up in our house. And we tell people it's a Renoir or whatever, or a Doubli, or a Spawn. What's a Spawn? What was the name of the EGOT that we made up? The Spamgat.
Schmamgat.
We should have put a Schmamgat up in the set.
We should have, actually. Maybe we will.
Man. You know what else comes up when you search Made You Look, the documentary?
Tell me.
You know this thing?
The butthole that you and I...
Yeah. So instead of calling each other buttholes all the time, we just do this to each other, and that means butthole to each other. But like back in middle school, if you did this below the waist and then someone looked at it, you got to punch them.
Oh, that's not nice.
No, it's not. I got bruises still. What are some other famous? Are we doing art heist documentaries, or are we doing just all general art heists?
I mean, there are some really crazy actual art heists. Did you know that the Mona Lisa was stolen once?
Only because you told me right before we started recording.
Right. So it was in 1911. The Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre. Some dudes just broke into the Louvre and stole the Mona Lisa. What is arguably the most popular painting in history.
Yeah, it's funny because it's different than I remember it.
That's not the proper Mona Lisa.
This is 100%.
Mona Lisa taking a selfie. Got some duck lips going on.
That's hilarious.
Peace sign. I kind of want that photo, actually.
Me too. Should we buy it? It's only $2,100.
Oh,
why would you do that?
Petty cash.
It's a limited edition.
Yeah. They only made 25 of them? Oh, it's a photograph.
Yeah. I think this might be the
Dog-a-Lisa.
Dog-a-Lisa.
I believe I've seen the Dog-a-Lisa before.
It's $120.
It's $120 that I would not spend.
I could steal that for free.
You apparently so.
Yeah, if I find art that I like,
apparently
I just steal
so. Some of these art heists also, you're gonna love this one, the next one. So the Swedish National Museum houses many, many fine arts, and 2 Renoirs and a Rembrandt were stolen. The museum is actually on the waterfront. It involved a Getaway speedboat.
Really?
That is how they got away with these 2 paintings, is they went and hopped into a speedboat.
Dude, that's the best way to get away with art.
Right?
Yeah. I'm actually, sorry, I'm looking up some art that I've stolen.
Okay.
And now I'm actually seeing the price of what they're worth, and I'm like, well, I really did steal it. Oh,
yeah.
Back in the day, this is an actual one that I actually have. And I got to blow this up. So back in the day when I worked at apartment complexes, I would get to go into everybody's apartment. So I knew what art they had. So we had a yard sale. And there was an older lady who owned this collection of Anne Yokelis. And I thought they're great. They're 3D. They're
and that's your thing.
Gradient
totally.
and hexagons. So it has everything that I love.
Yeah.
And she had this one out for sale. And this is exactly the one that I own. I just cracked the glass on it moving, but she sold it to me for $25. And I said, I knew she had 5 of them. So I said, hey, do you have any more of those? She's like, you know what? I think I have one more I could sell for the same price. So I bought the one I just showed you guys, Heat Wave, and I got this other one. I don't see this exact one, but this is a different color than the one that I have. And it's very small, but it's this same. I'm having a problem with the internet. Okay, cookies. I also bought this one for $25.
I like that.
So the last one was valued on eBay at $900, and this one's being sold for $500. But I've had them appraised for much higher. So that is the time that I stole art. I mean, I paid for it.
Yeah, but
I stole
essentially
it.
you stole it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you know your boy Ike was an art thief?
I did not know that at all. It's
there you have it. I wonder what they're worth with a cracked glass in the front.
Well, I mean, you can get that replaced.
Yeah, I should look that
you
up
just
right now.
reframe them.
While we're on the outer frame is absolutely beautiful. It's steel.
You can just get the glass replaced then.
Because it's that special, like, don't burn the art with sunlight glass.
Yeah.
What's that called? I'm gonna look that up. But maybe I could do my personal business offline.
No, I'm very intrigued by all of this.
Yeah, so
you and I both have very a surprising interest in art.
We do. We have various. I wouldn't say opposing styles. We just have very different.
They're definitely very
sensibilities.
Different. Yeah, I like things that are very ridiculous.
Yeah. It's interesting because my normal life, I'm not necessarily a neat person.
No, but you love the
aesthetically.
Yeah.
I love perfect geometrical gradient shapes.
And I like things that are impossible.
Like octopuses. They shouldn't exist. They're impossible.
They really shouldn't exist. They do some pretty wonky shit.
They could be aliens.
They could be.
What if octopuses are aliens? They're too tasty to be aliens.
This just went completely sideways.
It did. Back to art thievery. Tell us your favorite art thievery in the comments section.
Okay, this is my favorite story that I ran across.
Okay.
So, somebody broke in to the Whitworth Art Gallery in Manchester, UK.
Okay.
They stole a Van Gogh, a Picasso, and a Gauguin.
You got me.
Gauguin?
Gauguin.
Sure.
Penguin. Let's call it penguin.
A penguin. Worth $8 million.
Each or total?
Total. This is so incredible. They literally took these 3 art pieces and hid them outside. It was raining. They put them in a public bathroom.
And no one walked in there all
with
night?
A note attached that said, I did this to show you how poor your security is.
Oh, so they got them right back.
They did it. They left them there on purpose and then called in a tip and said, hey, these are in this bathroom. And with a note attached saying, your security sucks.
I'm going to take something off of your desk.
A Van Gogh.
Yeah.
A Van Gogh, a Picasso.
I'm going to take something off Misty's desk and put it in the bathroom and be like, yo, your security sucks.
He would do that.
I would.
He really would do that.
I would do that. In fact, I'm going to do it today, and you're going to forget about it.
You're right. And then I'm going to come in tomorrow and be like, God damn it.
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
Where is my Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, right. Where is your Jimmy Kimmel? That's what everybody
Where
wants
is
to
my
know.
Jimmy Fallon? Where is my Jimmy Fallon? I ask myself that every night before I go to bed.
Guess what our reels are going to be this week?
Jimmy Fallon?
Me stealing Jimmy Fallon and putting it in the bathroom.
You're a son of a gun.
No one's going to get it unless they watch the show.
Well, it's still pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This one flew by.
Right?
Oh, boy. We got one more, though, right?
Art stuff's really interesting. First of all, we're finding out with NFTs and stuff, like, how interesting the concept of owning artwork is and having, like, what puts value on artwork and how, essentially these paintings are this expensive just because someone says they're this expensive.
Yeah.
There is no gauge on, okay, if it has this, this, and this, it makes it this expensive.
Exactly.
So it's really interesting, like, when you kind of dive into all of this and you start to tear apart, like, well, what makes that Renoir, worth $8 million?
Yeah. I had this a similar problem when I was making the wood art that you saw in the last set.
Right.
It was very similar looking, or it looked like it would look good in a recording studio. So I
Yeah,
had some of my producer friends, audio producer friends, would call me and say, "Oh, I really like that. How much would you sell it to me for?" And I go, "It's art. It's priced as art. So I'm going to quote you as art." And they're like, "Oh,
right.
Hit me, bro." And I'm like, $10,000. And they're like, "What?" I'm like, it took
art.
me almost 2 weeks to make one piece.
Right.
Like, take whatever you make.
And
for 2
it's
weeks.
your passion,
Yeah.
and it's what you put into that.
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
gonna resell
and
it
you're
for $100,000.
Well, and that's the interesting thing about art is that you're able to set that to whatever you think it should be.
Yeah, so I ended up selling 0, but I've given a piece of my wood art to all of my dearest friends.
I am a very proud Isaac Heckert collector.
You have a very early limited
It's
number.
real
You're
cool.
under 10. You're like one of the third pieces that I ever made.
Yeah. Yep.
But if we put it that way, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
There's
6.
a lot.
There's
Don't-
9 pieces of $100 billion art sitting in our studio right
It's
now.
true. But don't come steal our art.
No, because I don't want to remake them,
And we don't want you to break in the studio.
which is definitely in Glendale. Oh, talk to him for a second. I got to do the thing at the end.
Well, that's our episode about Art Heist. And you should actually, like, the one that I recommend looking up more info about is when the Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre and the speedboat getaway at the Swedish National Museum.
What type of boat was it? Do you remember?
I
Was
no,
it like a cigarette speedboat?
I don't know what that means.
We'll look that up offline.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a hell of a week. Let us know what you think about the new studio.
Studio.
Stoop Studio. Here at Misty and Ike Industries, Brickyard Media Group.
Misty and Ike Industries.
Misty and Ike Worldwide.
I like that.
What do you like better? Leave a comment. Industries or worldwide? Just say the one word down in the comments. And the one who comments the first will get a special piece of art from the Ike collection.
An NFT.
Ooh, should I make my wood art into NFTs? I'm going to learn about that this weekend. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Rate us on iTunes. It really helps. All the normal stuff that you hear on every other show. Do that to us. We would really appreciate it. Do it to us. And here
that
is...
got dirty.
Yeah, well, that's a little dirt for your weekend. Here's the outro.